Bring our lights down in our studio as we show you this beautiful video of just how easily you're going to be able to get these Bethlehem Lights trees into action in your home. Now, these are all going to be managed with C7 bulbs. Now, C7 bulbs are the larger bulbs, and these are the bulbs I grew up with on the Christmas tree at my house when I was a little boy. But the one thing that you could never do with these bulbs was touch them, because they would get fire engine hot. This is something very special because they are LED bulbs. And each tree comes pre-lit, and I've got clear, which is a warm white, and I've got multi in a variety of sizes. We're now, are we last call on all the multi choices? Okay, so I have 5 foot, 6.5, 7.5, and 9 foot in the clear, but we're last call in all 4 of these sizes. Okay? Now let's go over and look at the multi. I'm a little in love with the multi. Now, I don't know about you, but when was the last time you went to a store and found a 9-foot tree? I would venture to say that that would be an awfully difficult thing to do. We've got the 9-foot multi available for you, but only 36 remain in that 9-foot multi. Then I have a 7.5-foot multi. Gorgeous. 2 dozen remain there. Then your 6.5, just sold out in the multi in the 6.5. And in that 5-foot multi, only a dozen remain. These are all going very quickly, so let's invite in Michelle Stretch. She's our Bethlehem Lights team member who's going to talk to us about these. She's joining us live via Skype. And Michelle, good to have you here. A little walk down memory lane with a 2022 twist.
I had the same ones. You said you had them. I remember the C7 bulbs. They were hot. They broke. They would all go out. It was a frustration for my father, who was the one that lit up the tree. But Bethlehem Lights, you know, we've been here at QVC for well over 2 decades. We love to bring you gorgeous trees, this time with a nod to nostalgia, all backed with amazing technology, as you know, David. So the trees look gorgeous. These are the C7 bulbs. They're not hot. They're LED bulbs. They're bold. And this is what is behind the scenes. You get a stand with a single leveling eye bulb there. You put the bottom piece in. Everything fluffs into place with that ready shape technology. All the lights go into the center of the tree. Instant power technology. Each piece plugs into the other. No one piece is too heavy. We section them off for depending on the size of the trees. And look at it. Now you have time to decorate. You're just going to turn on the foot pedal. We also have a little rod at the top so you can secure your angel, your Santa, your star at the top of the tree as well. I'm going to just turn that off for a second. Those bulbs look gorgeous even when the tree is off, kind of a decorative touch. And a gorgeous profile tree, David.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Now, let me clarify for you, because earlier I think I got a little confused. We're good to go on the clear. I mean, they're popular, okay, but they're going pretty quickly. And we've sold out of all the multi-choices except the 9-foot. And I have 12 left in the multi 9-foot. And then when that's gone, multi will be gone completely. Now, Michelle, let me ask you this. These are only steady burn, is that correct?
They are. It's so easy. You plug it in, you turn them on. So there's no choices to make, David. And you know what? Sometimes I love that. It's one less thing to think about, but it's going to be that nod to the trees that you remember when you were young. Everything is pre-lit. You don't have to put any of those lights on, and they're loaded with lights, by the way. Even 200 lights are on that 5-foot tree, all the way up to 850 lights on the 9-foot tree. And because they're LED, David, it's low power consuming. So you could even plug this in and leave it plugged in and turned on all the time. You could actually add your own timer if you wanted to do that as well.
Well, remember the C7 bulbs when we were little, Michelle? They would take them and they dip them in the paint. You could see the paint around the little crown of the bulb, which would screw into the socket. If they ever fell off the tree or hit the ground, they would sound like a gunshot, the way they would burst, right? Because they had little filaments inside. And we would shake them and try to get them to work, and we'd lick the bottom and stick them back in the little thing, and 100 things you did. But one thing you could never do is touch the bulb.
You
I
could
remember they
not.
got so hot, they would nearly burn your fingerprint off your fingers. I mean, it was just unbelievable how hot they would get. These are LED. They're cool to the touch. Now, Brian, how are we on that 9-foot multi? I have 6 left in this 9-foot multi. 6, 3 plus 3, 6. But in the clear, in the 9-foot, I have 6 dozen. In the 7.5-foot, have 150. In the 6.5-foot, 125, and the 5-foot, I have fewer than 100 in this 5-footer. So maybe you're downsizing, Michelle. Maybe you're in a home that is much smaller than the home that you left. Maybe you're in assisted living. Maybe you're in a situation where you need that smaller tree. That's where a 5-foot comes in very handy. Maybe you are blessed with a great big tall cathedral ceiling, and a 9-foot would be majestic in your house, right? But I will tell you, if you're after that 9-foot multi, it's gone. We can unplug the 9-foot multi. We have to sneak behind
That's a
there.
great tree.
I know, it's all sold out. But we still have the 9-foot clear.
We do.
So our 9-foot clear is still available. And how many have we here? 4 dozen. 7.5-foot clear, about 150. 6.5-foot clear, 120. And finally, the 5-foot, 3 dozen. Let's take a look at that videotape again, because Michelle, the assembly of this tree could not be more simple.
It's so easy. The tree is a beautiful tree, of course. That's where we start. But there, we give you that base. There, you put that bottom section, it just slides right in. And there's a single eye bolt down there. It's self-leveling, so it's going to be straight. All of those branches pop into place. Plug it in. Step on the foot pedal. There is section 2. Everything is labeled ABC. There's the top section. And I'm telling you, this is a tree that you barely have to fluff. I took this out of the box, and there was very minimal fluffing. There's lots of molded tips on each of these trees. They're very full, David. It looks like we have new growth on here. We even wrap the center pole of these trees to give it more fullness. Trust me, I look at trees all the time, and there, I just pulled this one out. Look how thick that is and how gorgeous those branches actually are. And then I'm going to just pop this into place, because that's how easy it is to decorate.
And these
Put
are
your tree
warm
together. Now you can
white
decorate.
bulbs. I think it's important to point
Yeah,
out, these are
gorgeous.
warm white. These are not a bluish white. They're not icy white.
Unbreakable, too.
And they're, oh my goodness, and they don't get hot, which is
Hear
so
that?
great.
No.
So don't miss out on these. And I'll tell you, if something like this were to sell out, I would imagine, unless we already have a reorder in the pipeline, Michelle, probably not likely we'll get these back in, right?
Not likely.
Now,
Yeah,
I will
absolutely.
tell you, these are available on Q-Card 9-month special financing. Now, how does that work? We will approve the full price of whatever size you choose on your Q-Card, and we'll give you 9 months to pay it off. You'll do 2 things for me. Make easier your monthly minimum payments on time, pay off the entire amount within the 9-month period, and you're charged 0 interest on this purchase, which makes it same as cash. Now, if you've got one of those old artificial trees that have about 11 plugs on the back, and a power strip that always tips over, and you worry every year when you plug it in, oh my goodness, this is going to be a fire hazard, that can be a problem. Here's one thing that I want to point out to you also. There is a rigid post in the top of this tree. Now, why would there be a rigid post here? Do you have a tree topper? Because if you have a tree topper, has the tree topper ever done this? Lay it over on its side, you had to prop it up, you had to put a little spit glue and hope up there to make sure that it didn't go sideways or go wonky. This is a rigid post in the middle of the tree, coming right up top. So that's what you're going to put your tree topper on, and that's going to hold it secure and straight up where it belongs. So don't miss out on this opportunity. We're getting busy on our phone lines. Many of you are looking at this tree and you're saying, wow, my tree has seen better days. I love that these are warm white. I love that this is so easy to put together, but we're getting into limited quantities now. So let me update you on what we have remaining. Now, if you want the 9-foot clear, I have 36 left in the 9-foot clear. I have 100 left in the 7.5 foot, fewer than 100 in the 6.5 foot, and I have 36 left in the 5-footer. All of these work out beautifully, and there's also a foot pedal. Yes, Michelle?
Yes, all you do is step on that foot pedal, turn it on and off. And I wanted to point out too, I have the 7.5 foot. I have 9-foot ceilings here, so 7.5 is kind of that nice size if you have 8 to 9 foot ceilings. And I want to say too, if you're somebody that is on the fence about getting a faux tree because they don't look real, this one is realistic. We have that real looking growth, David. So it's just a gorgeous profile. And besides that, we have the technology to make it so easy for you to put this together. You're going to pop each piece into the other. We give you that stand. You don't have to worry about a stand. They're labeled clearly. And the 9-foot tree actually has 4 sections, so there's nothing too heavy. 5-foot has 2. The other 2 have 3 sections. So we thought about that as well. Everything comes in 1 box. The 9-foot comes in 2 boxes, just FYI. And then you can just throw them back in the box like our commercial decorators do at the end of the season. They're going to be great for you every single year. These are built to last.
Well, they're all going very quickly now, and we're into final quantities in all of our remaining sizes. In this 9-foot clear, I have 24 left in the 9-foot clear. In the 7.5-foot clear, I have fewer than 100. In the 6.5 clear, I have 6 dozen. And finally, in this 5-footer, I have 24 left in that 5-footer. So all of our multi-choices have sold out. Only the clear remains, and this is a warm white. This is not a bluish, icy white. It's not one of those weird, bluish white that look very artificial. This is warm and inviting, and look how many light bulbs there are on these trees. They're so full, they're chock-a-block.
That's a good way to describe it, yeah. It is that warm white. It looks like incandescent, which is what we normally do on our trees, but we wanted to make this one LED, and we wanted to make it safe and gorgeous, and you're going to love it. I think, kids are going to love seeing what we grew up with, and, it makes us all remember those good old times.
Well, without a doubt. Michelle, it is a great pleasure to have you back with us. Thank you so much for being here on David's Great Big Christmas.
I'm grateful. Thank you for having me in the show,
Thank you
David.
for being here. That is going to wrap up my time with you today. Rachel Bosing is up next as she continues the holiday shopping and all the Christmas in July merrymaking. I'll be back with you on Wednesday night for In the Kitchen with David, your kitchen reimagined. Have a great week, everyone, and enjoy Rachel because she's up next. Oh, there's the light. Hello and goodbye. Bye-bye.